Have you ever woken up feeling like the world has lost its color? As if everything around you is there, intact, but somehow empty. You get out of bed, go about your daily routine, do what needs to be done, but something is wrong. An invisible weight accompanies each step, and the things that once sparked your interest now seem banal, distant. This feeling goes beyond ordinary sadness. It's not just tiredness or boredom. It's as if something essential has disappeared, leaving only an echo inside you. You laugh at the right moments, talk when expected, even pretend to be fine. But deep down, there's a nagging discomfort. Why doesn't anything seem real anymore? Carl Jung once said, "People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own soul." Maybe that's the real problem. Maybe it's not the world that has lost its color, but we who have disconnected from it. We spend our entire lives chasing what we were told would make us happy. The perfect career, the ideal relationship, financial stability. We strive to fill each gap with achievements, believing that, in the end, we will feel that promised peace. But when we finally stop running, a deafening silence takes over. This feeling of emptiness is not a mistake. It is not a defect. It is a sign. A warning that something inside us is asking for change. But before we understand what is really happening, we need to question the idea of happiness that has been sold to us. From an early age, we are taught that happiness is a destination. There is a clear path. They say, study, work hard, build a stable career, find someone to love, have a family. If you follow this formula, the reward will come, a feeling of complete satisfaction, like a reward for your effort. And so we go on. We plan, we fight, we conquer. We look for that moment when we can finally say, "Now, yes, I am happy." But when we get there, something disturbing happens. The happiness we expected does not embrace us the way we imagined. The satisfaction does not last long. Instead of fulfillment, we feel a slight disappointment, an uncomfortable question hanging in the air. Was this all? Carl Jung warned about the dangers of living a life based on external expectations. Often, what we call happiness is nothing more than a script imposed by society, a ready-made model that we follow without questioning whether it really does us any good. We achieve goals that are not always ours, but that we assume as if they were. And in the end, we find ourselves exactly where we thought we should be, only empty. That's the problem with pursuing happiness as if it were an end goal, a trophy. The truth is, happiness is not a finish line. It doesn't come as a result of an exact equation, nor can it be guaranteed by a series of predetermined steps. It is something more subtle, more profound, something that cannot be found in external validation. So if happiness isn't where we were told it would be, where is it? Perhaps the answer lies in looking within, at the parts of ourselves that we ignore. But before that, we need to face something we avoid at all costs, our own shadow. If happiness is not found in external achievements, if it cannot be found in the script we blindly follow, then where is it? The answer may be uncomfortable. It is precisely in what we avoid looking at. Carl Jung called this hidden part of our psyche the shadow. The shadow contains everything we reject in ourselves. Fears, insecurities, repressed desires, truths we try to bury. We spend our lives running away from it, distracting ourselves with work, relationships, entertainment. But no matter how hard we try to ignore it, it never goes away. In fact, the more we resist seeing our shadow, the more it manifests itself in our lives in unexpected ways. In lack of purpose, in constant anxiety, in silent dissatisfaction. The emptiness we feel is not a mistake. It is a symptom. A warning that something inside us needs to be seen. Jung believed that true transformation only happens when we confront our shadow. This confrontation is not easy. It requires courage to let go of illusions, to accept uncomfortable truths, to face oneself without masks. But it is in this encounter with the shadow that the true self begins to emerge. The feeling that nothing is fun anymore, that life has lost its color, is not an end. It is a call, an invitation to a deeper journey, beyond superficial distractions. The void is not here to destroy us, but to awaken us. The question is, are we willing to listen? Ignoring the shadow and continuing to live the same way may seem easier. After all, confronting what we avoid seeing within ourselves requires effort, and the most comfortable path is to move forward as if nothing is wrong. But there is a price to this choice. Life becomes mechanical. How many times have you spent an entire day without really being present? You get up, follow your routine, do what needs to be done, answer messages, smile when expected. But deep down, you feel like you are just reproducing gestures and words, without really living them. Carl Jung warned that disconnection from oneself transforms existence into a state of numbness. When we lose contact with our true essence, we operate on autopilot. We follow habits, beliefs, and expectations without questioning. And the most dangerous thing? Many times, we don't even realize that we are trapped in this cycle. A routine without purpose wears us down silently. What was once pleasurable becomes an obligation. Emotions become predictable, and life becomes a series of indistinguishable days. This lack of novelty and meaning is no accident. It is the result of a life that has ceased to be authentic. Autopilot robs us of the present. It keeps us busy but empty. The antidote? Relearning to be aware, to feel, to reconnect with what makes us truly alive. But before that, we need to take an essential step, listening to the void and understanding what it is trying to tell us. Autopilot anesthetizes us. We lose spontaneity, curiosity, and the sparkle of simple moments. But if we can recognize that we are stuck in this state, then we have already taken the first step to escape it. Reconnecting with life does not happen instantly. There is no magic solution, nor a button that we can press to regain lost enthusiasm. But there are ways. Small, subtle, transformative. And it all starts with attention. Carl Jung believed that true transformation comes from within. This means that, in order to find meaning again, we need to remember who we are beyond labels, expectations, and mechanical routines. We need to rescue what made us feel alive before we lost ourselves in the world. This may mean rediscovering something that was left behind, a hobby, a passion, a forgotten dream. It may mean changing the way we see everyday life, bringing more presence to ordinary moments. Or it may mean something even deeper, questioning whether the life we are leading really belongs to us. The first step is simple but powerful. Observe. Observe yourself without judgment. What sparks curiosity? What brings lightness? What little things can still bring a genuine smile? The answer to disconnection is not outside. It lies in the small sparks within that have never completely gone out. But for this reconnection to be real, it is necessary to go beyond observation. It requires action. Small conscious gestures that break the cycle of inertia. The problem is not that life has lost its charm. It is that we have distanced ourselves from it. And the path back begins the moment we choose to be truly present. Reconnecting with life is not just about feeling pleasure again. It is not just about rediscovering old interests or making routine more enjoyable. At its core, this process is a much greater calling. The calling to individuation. Carl Jung described individuation as the path to becoming who we really are, beyond the masks, beyond the expectations that have been imposed on us. It is a profound process, which requires courage to let go of the versions of ourselves that we have created just to please or to fit in. Many of us grow up following a predefined script. We believe that we should be a certain way, like certain things, have certain goals. But what if these truths are not really ours? What if we are living a character that no longer represents us? Individuation is a process of unraveling, of peeling back the false layers until we find what is essentially ours. This path is not always comfortable. It may involve letting go of certainties, facing fears, dealing with the pain of realizing that some choices were made to please others and not ourselves. But this journey is liberating, for it is only by becoming whole, authentic, true, that we can experience a life that has real meaning. A life that is not only bearable, but genuinely ours. The emptiness, then, takes on a new meaning. It was not a sign of failure. It was the absence of ourselves. And now, as we reconnect with who we really are, we realize that we were never lost, just asleep. Getting here was not just an exercise in reflection, but an invitation to awaken. The emptiness, the apathy, the feeling that nothing is fun anymore. All of this was not an end, but a sign. A call to look within and rediscover what really matters. Individuation teaches us that there is no single right path. Each person has their own journey, their own challenges, their own truths to be discovered. But there is one thing in common: the need to live with intention, to get out of autopilot and make choices that truly resonate with who we are. This means learning to say yes to what expands us and no to what holds us back. It means cultivating presence, authenticity, and the courage to live a life that is not only bearable, but meaningful. Carl Jung said that he who looks outside dreams, he who looks inside awakens. And awakening is, above all, an act of choice. We can continue to be numb, distracting ourselves, pretending that everything is fine. Or we can accept that life is an adventure, and decide to live it with purpose. The ultimate question is not, how do I enjoy things again? The real question is, what kind of life do I want to build from now on? The answer is within you. It has always been.